Rock Bottom Coins is the #1 place to get your Madden coins. If you make coins for my videos, sell them to Rock Bottom. If you're buying, use my code GUTBOX for 10% off. Hey, Box here. So, we have All-Madden 2. And I want to go through and rank them all, okay? We're going to go through. Since they're very expensive, right? They're 600K plus. Some people can only get 1 to pick up my shoe. We're going to rank them 1 to 12. And I've got them all in my binder. You'll notice one is conspicuously missing. Well, actually more than one. But we'll talk about that when we get there. So let's go through the one I hate the most. And granted, okay, these cards are basically the best at that position, okay? Outside of a couple other, contenders right there, like Elway. Each one of these cards are incredible, right? Their AP discounts, which we'll talk about, are some of the best in the game. And there's a reason why it's going to be a hard list and it's up for debate. So let me know what I screw up, but I'm already ready to dive into the deep end of the hate pool. Get at me, 49ers fans. Steve Young's the worst of the drop, okay? Now, Steve Young is the one I was referring to when I said he wasn't in this pool that I still have on my roster. Steve Young, I didn't like his release, one. It isn't, terrible. It isn't the worst thing ever, but it wasn't, any good. And the fact that Steve Young is going for so much when his production can be replicated by so many other guys. McNair is very close to the Steve Young. Everybody's asked about pass lead elite on Steve Young. First one to get it, to my knowledge. Trash, right? It's not that much better than step feet lead. I'm not really throwing on the run anyways, where I need that velocity. So 742 for a quarterback that many other quarterbacks, half that price, can put up very similar production. Plus, lefties have a little bit of trouble escaping the pocket right. He's great, if you run an option with 90 speed on your Legends theme team or anything. But overall, I think Steve Young's a hard pass, and I think that's one that you don't really want to try, in my opinion. But go ahead, give it a shot yourself, see if you like him. It's never a bad deal. Number 11, you can put Gunslinger on him to make his release faster, but I kind of prefer Fearless there. Fearless is very, very needed, especially with Parsons coming out with Edge Threat Elite and, making some under pressures against you too. Number 11 is an offensive lineman, Jonathan Ogden. You guys know, I don't mind offensive linemen, and of an offensive lineman, he's about as, he's the best in the game. Don't get me wrong. But it's an offensive lineman. You shouldn't pay that much for this position, because if you just get that 90 overall Andrew Thomas or Most Feared, put the edge protector on him, he'll play basically very similarly to this Ogden. Now, obviously, Ogden is marginally better. Don't 340 weight's kind of nice. 6'9's cool. Maybe if you're running a short guy, quarterback, you'll pop a couple into his head, but really I don't see that as much this year. So don't get me wrong, Ogden's cool, but you're not going to really see the difference that you'll see on your field of play that you'll see out of these other cards. Number 10, I really do love this Siragusa. It's another one that I don't have. I think goal line stuff for free is incredible. Him and that Giants DT that get it for free, those are great third defensive tackles the rest of the year. And I'm sure more defensive tackles will get it for free going on, but basically, if you're under the goal line formation, boom, a guy's automatically getting those incredible sheds inside stuff. Siragusa also gets inside stuff for 1 AP if you'd rather go with that. So the option with Siragusa for free for doing solos. People are actually getting 2 Siragusas, so it was a bonus little training right there along with the Siragusa. But an absolute studly DT1, thick, and I gotta love that. Okay. So now we're going to be getting kind of more into the playmakers, the guys on the field. Number 9 will be Urlacher. Now, for those that were on my stream, like I said, I used these guys all day. I think an 8-hour stream where we were using them for a lot of hours there. Urlacher made actually an incredible interception against man coverage right there. It's the one interception he got on the day. I did not play him for all of my games because I rotated Parsons back to user and he got replaced. The reason why he's a little bit lower for me, and I do like this Urlacher card, he's really nice, is the fact that his lurker costs 1 AP, whereas his competition in this drop, it costs 0. And, free abilities are the most overpowered thing in the game because you can, juice them out and there's no cost to your defense at all. So I tried mid-zone KO, which is nice for a hook zone. I might like flat zone KO better because I frequently put my linebackers into flat zones in the cover 4 system. But mid-zone for 1, and then I want lurker for 1.
Overall, a very solid card. Get some nice. He can jump. That one pick he got in man coverage. He jumped sky high. That was nice. That was on a tight end corner route. So overall, Urlacher for the stats. For the I guess the attributes is what I'm talking about. 90 speed, 6'4". Zone coverage is only 88, and man at 70. Even though he made that crazy man play, it's not quite as CPU awesome as possible. And only 90 speed. I feel like you want a little bit more there. So that's why he is where he's at, number 9 on the list. Let's go to number 8. This is going to shock a lot of people. This guy got dunked on. I don't think there's a single good defensive back in this game. You know, like, he can play good man coverage. I'm a zone guy. Maybe I should say this better. There's not a single good zone defensive back in this game because zone doesn't play that smart, okay? Corner routes still somehow get under deep quarters and deep thirds, even though they shouldn't. They still will play like traffic cones instead of look for work, squeeze to routes, that kind of thing, and get dunked on. He's straight up on like this happened multiple times. He was straight at one time a cover 3. It was a straight cover 3 drop system. He was like 10 to 15 yards off the line of scrimmage. My opponent ran a streak with Carmichael and literally beat this guy in a foot race. It was the most BS thing I've ever seen in my life. I didn't shade under or anything like that. Even if shade under shouldn't affect the deep zone. But in the 6'2", 93 speed, 96 man, 95 zone, I tried the zone. Okay, but I just wanted to finish that. Yeah, you just beat him. Otherwise, Carmichael also dunked on the guy. Even with the deep out knockout, it didn't even knock it out. It didn't even matter. Like that's how crazy animations are for the offense right now. You just throw high points. Even when you click on, don't click on, it still sucks. I tried chuck out and do like a press zone scheme with him, and it's always hard to tell how effective it is because I can't see my opponent's stamina. I can't see it. So it might be cool, but until somebody runs it against me, I just won't know how impactful it is. So let me know if you guys have any luck with chuck out, but I tried it. I didn't have anything great with it. No, we're not starting soon. We are running number 7. Now, this guy, one of the best attributed guys in the entire job, absolute stud, Micah Parsons. The issue with Micah Parsons is that I feel like he's got like a tweener role, which is incredibly, like he's like an incredible Swiss Army knife. I love him for that, right? If he's an outside backer in like 3-3-5 wide, he is absolutely perfect for that role. I just don't run 3-3-5 wide, except if I face like a heavy runner. And so I did face one of those, and I did put him out there, and it's good, right? I love this card. The issue is the abilities, right? So he's got 90 zone coverage, incredible. 84 man, which, isn't anything, but he can pass rush. He can drop into zone. He's crazy fast, like a safety. Like he's Ed Reed out there, an outside backer. The issue is his bonus ability. Lurker, sadly, is here instead of like being here. I wish Speedster was 1 over and Lurker switched here, but Edge Threat Elite. Most of my opponents are running Edge Protectors right now, which nullifies the 3 AP Edge Threat Elite. So Edge Threat Elite for 3 AP is great. But the fact that most people are kind of in the know at this point and they know they need to get Edge Pros basically shuts down his entire glitchy. Now, if you go against a guy without Edge Pros, you're going to mess their day up with this card. So there is that benefit that you will destroy somebody with Parsons. Now, I started with him as pass rusher. I didn't love Speedster. It wasn't crazy. I went to Lurker, and he's a good user. I really like the 92 change of direction on him. And that's all I got to say about it. So he's very flexible. I like him. But number 7 for me because I feel like a bit of a tweener. I don't know. I think as a user, he's better than Urlacher. And that's why he's higher than Urlacher, okay? But one of the best middle linebacker users. Problem is it still costs you a AP to get that Lurker. Derrick Brooks does not take AP to get that Lurker. And that's why he's 1 above Parsons. I was like, Derrick Brooks is probably the biggest, well, him and one other guy, probably the biggest surprise from my entire day. I absolutely adored how this guy played for me. He made some insane interceptions that I didn't think he'd get to, right? I see him now at 6 foot, right? They got him at we'll go back to attributes. They got him at 6 foot. I know there's concerns about him being like 6'2", whatever. They got him at 6 foot. But as we saw with Troy Polamalu, with Ed Reed, with the ability of guys to jump, they really get up there. Okay, so that's free. I tried out mid-zone KO, running around with him at Lurker with mid-zone KO in the middle of the field. All you gotta do is like contact them and they'll drop that if they catch it and you're kind of like a little bit late. But I don't know if it's necessary like to his card. He's got pick artists. It's really too bad Acrobat's not in this slot. I think that would have been kind of cooler going for a 2 AP Lurker Acrobat at middle linebacker, since Acrobat we know is pretty nice. It lost me a game because my opponent's Lurker or Acrobat activated and literally took a ball out of my player's hands today. That was wild. My only loss of the day was some BS dudes. You had to be there. But if you want to run a middle linebacker, if you want to run a linebacker at linebacker, this is your dude. Even though his change direction, even though those movement stats aren't as good as, say, Parsons, you're saving that AP. And obviously, you know, a lot of people can find extra AP in their lineup. It's not terrible. But overall, wildly surprised with how he played for me. And that's why he's up to 6. Like, if I ranked these cards this morning, Derrick Brooks would probably be like in this range, right? I think like young, Derrick Brooks probably would an 11 if I ranked it before playing the game with him. So that's sometimes why you play the game. All right. Number 5 for me will be 1 AP Aaron Donald. Okay. Aaron Donald, good speed, power move, block shed. He's got great traits, agility and change of direction, a little bit low, but like the reason he's so high and much higher than Parsons is double or nothing is the key to going forward against edge pros, in my opinion. I'm sure there's other things out there that can like scream at them a little bit. I would not stack it with edge threat. Okay, if you do stack it with edge threat, he's incredible against non-edge pros, okay? He is incredible, don't get me wrong. But like I talked about with Parsons, everybody, almost everybody that's good at the game is running edge pros, or they know how to run play actions if they don't have edge protectors, okay? So I really go double or nothing on them for 1 AP. Obviously, you got to rotate it, put a defensive rally on your team then to get that. I do both those things, both defensive rally and I rotate my defensive linemen when they're running low on pass rush points. But Aaron Donald for 1 AP, him and Leonard Floyd there on the edge is they're doing okay. It's obviously not as good as when I had it with edge threat, but it's about as good as you can overall. Did I not? Oh, sorry, I didn't write that down. Number 4. So we're getting into some of the offensive weapons. Cooper Kupp right here. Cooper Kupp had a day for me. I guess we can look at like stats of cards. I guess I haven't really been looking at the stats as much as I should overall. He had 3 sacks to me on the day, which is not terrible in 158 reps, 3 sacks. 1 every 50 reps. That's like 1 a game in the NFL, a little bit more than that, but that's, you know, pretty real life. That's pretty sim. Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp gets free short in. Whether you're running C routes, whether you're running routes over the middle of the field to break and beat man coverage, short end elite is a really nice attribute. Really nice chem, right? He also gets slot apprentice, but I got John Elway. I was using slot apprentice when I had Steve Young, if I recall, or maybe I went to, I think I went slot apprentice with him or something like that. But anyways, Cooper Kupp, free short in, plus I think just a solid overall card with this decent speed. It's obviously not blazing, not as much as the guy we got higher on this list here. But 12 catches, 250 yards, not too terrible. 20 yards of reception. Drop passes. I mean, it doesn't drop pass that attributes that stat is broke. But we did have some weird things where, like, you know, obviously you throw the ball and there's like, you know, goes past your guy. You don't get the animation for the catch. It's very frustrating. That happens to everybody. It happened to Cooper Kupp today. Did not happen to Hester, though. But overall, you can expect that out of most cards to kind of be glitched like that for some reasons. Cooper Kupp, it happened to. Number 3, talk of the devil initial arrive. Devin Hester is number 3 for me on the list. Not like, dude, free return man, kind of nice, right? Kind of nice. But the most impressive thing is the speed that he has. And the fact that I can run routes with him, that I don't even need route running abilities like short and elite. And I'm just like getting separation. I'm like literally just getting away from dudes just due to the speed. So 94 speed is the fastest card in the game. And Devin Hester, he runs those routes that you need run, right? Even on post patterns that generally get locked down by man, like, you know, the kind of the shallow posts that you really need mid and elite, or at least I do in my scheme. Devin Hester does get open, and he did beat the defense deep for me on that route a couple times when I needed it against the man demons out there. 15 catches, 360 yards. So he's averaging, what is that? 24 yards per catch. A little bit higher than Kupp, but, you know, a lot of that has to do with how I toss the ball and what position they are in my offense. So, anyways, 115 yards after catch, too. Not bad. We also got kick returns. I'm averaging 20 per return on kicks with him. Punts, 15 per return on punts with Devin Hester, too, which are, they're pretty good, right? They are not bad at all. We got close to a touchdown, I believe, on a kick return once, but we might have been hawked on. Maybe that was a punt. Yeah, punt return. I don't remember, but I got close to busting one with the old double juke. Number 2, probably him and Derrick Brooks were the biggest surprises of the entire day. Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders was so fun. I was actually pleasantly surprised. I came into this thinking like, oh, Barry Sanders is gonna be like fine. He's gonna be like Barry and like he'll be like nimble and stuff. But this guy had fight. And then a free evasive. His jukes and spins both seem to work well for me with evasive. Like, I've run with evasive before. You guys have seen me use running backs with evasive on Gutfox 2. We're all gameplay of all these cards. Evasive is awesome on Barry. I was juking, spinning dudes out. Now, human joystick, I think, is great on old gen. I think on next gen, I didn't really feel that much of a difference. Maybe I should go back to it again since I went human joystick first and then I went off human joystick. I should try human joystick again just to see if I can't feel that feeling. Back and forth. I'm not sure it entirely works, but just his agility, change of direction alone, 96 and 95 there makes him omega nimble. Okay, and he was like getting guys wrapped into animations with his jukes, his spins, an open field demon. 94 break tackle. He was falling forward too. He was shedding off big tackles by big guys. He had a lot of fight, but the one that never disappoints. And that never, should never be underestimated. Taiwan is number 1. Always number 1. Okay? That's the ranking video. Let me know where I screwed up, who you like better, who's done well, who's done bad for you. Bye.